Get a little bit of gasoline. You come gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. You come gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. Get a little bit of gasoline. Welcome to another drive scene. I'ma make it burn.
Welcome back to S.W.E Racing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, if you notice there's two different valve covers on there. I had to take this side off in order to get the headers in. So that's just sitting on there to keep anything from getting in there. The aluminum ones will go back on. First thing we're going to do is get this exhaust system on. So we went and got all of our bolts. We're using Allen head bolts because I don't know if you've messed with headers a lot. It's kind of hard to get a socket and a ratchet in there. There's not a whole lot of room in between the header. You usually end up stripping out the regular header bolts or something if you have any trouble, and then it's a total pain to get them out. You'll never strip out an Allen. I'm sure you've stripped out a lot of bolts and stuff if you do any work on cars or anything. It's a lot easier to strip out a bolt than it is to strip out the wrench that you're using to try to take it out. So by using Allens, you're reversing the process basically. Instead of being on the outside of the bolt, you're on the inside, which is like a socket, and you're not going to strip out the socket or a boxed in. So we prefer to use the Allens on there. It just makes it easier. So I'm going to get you guys set up, get you guys on time lapse, and we're going to get these thrown in. We've gone through and cosmetically painted them with a cosmetic coat. I have trouble saying that word. So they look brand new again, and we're going to go ahead and get them in. All right, stay tuned. Well, there you go, guys. It's a little tougher than I thought it was going to be. It wasn't too bad. Done hard to reach some of the bolts. We got it done on the very tailpipe. They had the hole for the mount too small, so I had to drill it out a little bit. But everything's in there looking good. Everything fit just perfect. You see these headers here. Unlike your traditional headers that go down and back, these go up and over. So all your spark plug wires come to the front of the motor and then run down underneath the headers. Keeps you from burning up your plugs. Just way better system. So this one comes up over the back of the motor, back down through the tunnel. See this aluminum plate here, got heat shield on it to protect your distributor so you don't burn out your modules. Goes back over across the transmission. Then it come over this side. Same thing over here. They go up, your wires go underneath, they come back, they go into that Y. If you notice, most of your starters are attached to the block itself right in the front of the motor, right here. This one is behind in the bell housing. The reason why that is like the street stock, we have to run a 10.5-inch clutch. So that puts you out on a mount out here. This has a flex plate in it, just like an automatic, but then it has a 5.5-inch 3-disc clutch inside there for less rotating mass. So that clutch is actually only 5.5 inches in diameter, which allows your RPMs to pick up a lot faster and less rotating mass. And then for the starters in the back, running off a little gear on the back of it. So anyways, those exhausts come over the back of the transmission, over to the right side. They go into a Y, and then they go out back. There's a mount up on that cross member to bolt them onto. And then there's one right here onto the frame that bolts it. This is the one that was a little too tight. I had to drill it out to the next size. It was hard to get it lined up without trying to cross thread something. So we just drilled it out, and then it comes out and exits out the door of the car. That's your late model setup. These are tri-Y headers, so they increase torque, which is a good thing, but they're a little more expensive. So yeah, I think we'll end up probably doing the power steering pump, and we'll throw that on a time lapse and get that on there as well. Depending on how long this video is, we might just shoot this one out like it is and then do another one. All right, guys, thanks for stopping in. S.W.E Racing, y'all have a good night.